I took a real Figma website design and converted it into a fully responsive and functional website using Framer AI. I wanted to know, can AI actually understand a designer's vision, or does it just build something generic? I've been building client website in Framer for years now, and in this video I'll show you the exact prompts I used, what Wireframer gave me, and how I converted that into a finished website. Because the process is not what I expected. So this is the Figma design we are working with today. It's a homepage for a fictional band called Echo Reverie. And yes, I made the design myself, so we are not copying anyone's real work. The full page has a lot going on. A hero and a logo section, upcoming shows, new releases, a ticket section and a footer. We are not going to try to replicate all of this in one go. We are focusing on these three sections: the navigation, the hero, the powered by logo strip, and the upcoming show section. These three are actually the most interesting ones to test AI on, because each one presents a different kind of layout challenge. Look at this hero section carefully. This is not a simple split layout with an image on the right. The performance photo is actually a full bleed background image that covers the entire hero section, which pushes the text forward and creates that contrast. It's a cinematic technique basically, and honestly this is the kind of design decision that's very easy for a human designer to understand, but quite hard to communicate with AI based on just text prompts. We'll see how Wireframer actually handles this. On top of that, we have a World Tour badge, a bold 2-line headline with a red accent on the word rhythm, a short description and a red CTA button. Strong red and black color scheme throughout. Then down here is the upcoming show section. Horizontally scrollable cards, each with an album style image and show name, venue, date and a book now button. A horizontal scroll component is one of the harder things for AI to generate correctly, so this will be a very good test. So the approach that I'm going to follow is that we start with Framer's Wireframer tool, which generates the full page layout from a text prompt. Think of it as asking AI to generate the skeleton of your website. Then for the shows card specifically, we'll use Workshop AI to build that component separately. And then we manually refine the colors, typography and the background image technique to get as close to design as possible. This is a harder test than just building some generic landing page for AI. We have a specific design we're trying to communicate with AI using just our text prompts. And that's exactly why it's useful, because this is the real situation you'll be in when you are a real designer working on a client project or maybe your own project. The question is that whether AI will be able to execute this properly. And at the end of this video, I'll show you the Figma design with the finished website, so you can judge the results accordingly and how good of a job AI and I did. So we are inside Framer now with the blank canvas. The first thing we need to do is open Wireframer. And the quickest way to do that is just press W on your keyboard. That's it. Wireframer opens on the panel on the left side. Alternatively, if you go to the plus icon here on the top left side, Wireframer is right at the top of this menu. What we're looking at is a simple chat style interface. You type your text prompt here, hit generate, and Wireframer builds the layout directly onto your canvas. It works with the free plan, so you do not need to get any paid subscription to access Wireframer. Now before we just start typing, the prompt is everything here. A bad prompt gives you something generic that looks nothing like a design file. A good prompt gives you a skeleton, a wireframe close enough to your Figma design, close enough to your vision. After testing this on multiple websites and multiple prompts, I found that a good Wireframer prompt always has 4 main parts. First, tell it who the site is for and what is the purpose of the site, what is the type of the site it is. Brand name, industry, purpose, all in one line. This sets the context for every design decision it makes. Second, define the aesthetic in plain language. Not hex codes, plain language. I've tested hex codes extensively and Wireframer largely ignores them. If you want a dark website, change the background to black. And if you want a light website, keep the background as it is, which is white. You have to change backgrounds manually because Wireframer does not change the backgrounds for you. If you want a dark website, it cannot change the background to suddenly black. It will keep the background as it is. Also, it does not generate any other colors except black and white. I've tested this extensively and it does not generate any other colors. Third, list your sections in numbered order. The phrase "in this exact order," this matters a lot because sometimes without it, Wireframer messes up the sequence of sections and sometimes it skips one entirely. And fourth, for each section, describe only the key elements as short bullet points. Don't write paragraphs, don't explain why you want something, just tell it what needs to be there. And for upcoming shows, notice that I've only asked for the structure here. 3 placeholder cards side by side with basic content. No horizontal scroll behavior yet. No button styling. The reason for that is important because anything involving complex containers, we handle that with a separate AI tool called Workshop AI. These complex component interactions, they cannot be taken care with Wireframer. Wireframer gives you only the skeleton. These type of complex behaviors and complex interactions, they can be handled with Workshop AI. That's its job. And we'll get to that shortly. Wireframer's job is structure only. So that's the full prompt. Let's generate. Okay, so this is what we have got. And honestly, the structural foundation here is reasonable. Correct headline text, left aligned layout, all 4 sections in the right order. So the prompt did its job in the structure part. But now let's compare this directly against our Figma design and be completely honest about the gaps. First, the hero section. In Figma design, the performer photo fills the entire hero as a full bleed background. Here, the Wireframer placed a contained image box below the headline as a completely separate element. The text and image are stacked on top of each other and are not overlaid. There is also no World Tour badge. And if you see closely, there is no Buy Tickets Now button in the hero at all. And look, no red anywhere on this page. Not on button, not on badge. I specifically asked for red accent colors. And this is consistent across every single test I've run. Wireframer reads color intent but almost always defaults to black and white in its actual design. Color is something that you always have to apply manually afterwards. Now the upcoming show section. This is the most telling gap. I asked for a row of 3 cards side by side with square image placeholder, event name, venue and date. What I got is a plain text list, cities with dates on the right, 3 lines of text with dividers. And I want to be clear here, this isn't first time miss. I ran 2 different tests. And the first time I asked for horizontal scrolling carousel with full card descriptions. And the second time I simplified it down to just 3 placeholder cards in a row. Both times same text list. So this is a consistent pattern, this is not a prompt problem. So the gaps are clear. No color, no full bleed hero image, no badge, no CTA button in the hero. And the show section is a plain text list instead of cards. This is the honest reality of Wireframer that it gives you when working with the specific design. So here's the approach we are going to take instead of trying to fix this all in one go. So what we are going to do is we are working section by section. Write a focus prompt for each section. Then we are going to generate it, style it, match the Figma design. Then we move on to the next section. This gives us much more control and gives us a cleaner result at each step. Let's start with the navigation bar. Using the same 4-part prompt that we just covered, I've written a focus prompt for just this one section. Short, specific, and structure only. Let's generate. Okay, structurally, this is solid. Black background that I just created, logo on the left, nav links, sign up button on the right, good foundation. 3 quick fixes. We need to optimize the links to the middle. Sign up button needs to be outline styled, not filled, and the logo needs to sit further left. All minor, let me fix those quickly now. And that's the nav bar done. Matches the Figma design close enough. And now let's move to the hero section because this is where things get interesting. Now for the hero section. Same approach, same prompt structure. This time I have been very explicit, full width background image covering the entire section. All content left aligned sitting on top of it. One single section, do not split. Let's see what it gives us. Okay, dark background that I created of course, left aligned content, the world tour text is there, description is there, and the buy tickets now button appeared. The overall feel is dark and cinematic, which is what we want. But there are some clear gaps. The biggest one, elements that should be inside one hero section frame have been split into separate sections. And the buttons are all sitting as independent blocks rather than one unified hero section. The image is also contained as a placeholder box, not a full bleed background behind the content, and the headline text from our Figma design did not come through properly. These are structure gaps that prompting alone I guess won't fix. I've tried multiple times. So that's what we need to do manually, and the changes fall into 4 different categories. First, structure. Merge these fragmented elements into one hero frame and clean up the layer hierarchy. Second, the image treatment. Replace the contained image box with an actual performer photo set as a full bleed background image so it covers the entire hero section. Third, content corrections. Fix the headline text. Convert the World Tour heading into a proper pill badge. And position the CTA button correctly inside the hero section. And fourth, color. Apply red color to the buttons and the badge. As I said earlier, Wireframer does not add colors, it only adds black and white. So we have to make those changes manually. So let's make these changes quickly as possible. And that's the hero. Full bleed background image, correct headline, World Tour badge, red CTA button, much closer to the Figma design that we saw earlier. Now let's move to the powered by section. Quick prompt, focused on structure, let's generate. This is the cleanest output Wireframer has given us so far. All 4 brands in horizontal row, black background, evenly spaced, exactly what we needed. Only one thing is missing. The powered by label above the logos did not generate. So all we have to do is one quick fix. For the last section, upcoming shows, we are switching to Workshop AI. Every time I prompted Wireframer to generate these cards, it gave me plain text list. So this is the right tool for this job. Workshop AI focuses on one component at a time, and exactly what we need for these event cards. The prompt is pretty straightforward, dark background, image at the top, event name, venue, date below it, and a red book now button. I'm also specifying the hex code here because Workshop AI does consider the hex codes unlike Wireframer, and it will also help us in being consistent with the rest of the page. And there it is. Image, event name, venue, date, red book now button. Workshop AI nailed it completely. Card is ready. Now I'll just duplicate it and update the content on each one according to the Figma design file. Now for the horizontal scroll, which is also known as carousel, Framer has a built-in carousel component for exactly this. I'll add it on the page and link all the cards to it and adjust the spacing. Now we are using carousel component for this one specifically instead of AI. It's a better approach, and why use AI when you can do it faster and more efficiently with the inbuilt component? It does not make sense. And now we'll add the section title last. And that's all. These are the all three sections done completely with AI and some human corrections, of course. And let me pull back and show you the complete page. So did AI build this website? Well, technically yes, but it's not the way most people think. Here's the truth about AI in Framer. Wireframer handled the structure part of the website, whereas Workshop AI, it handled the components part. Each prompt was written with the intent, and the output AI gave us, it was reviewed, adjusted, and refined by a human. AI did not design this, it only assisted in the design process. That's the distinction that matters. Quick pros and cons so you have the complete picture. On the pros side, it's generally fast for laying out structure, and it's great for the starting point of website. And I was genuinely impressed by the results of Workshop AI. On the con side, output needs refinement almost every single time. Complex layout still confuses it, and many times generation fails in Wireframer unexpectedly. And without a clear Figma design to work from, results may get messy really fast. AI works better when you know what you want and you are using it to get there faster, not when you want AI to do all your work for you. Before ending the video, I want to say something personally. I've been away from YouTube for a while and I was caught up in some really important projects that demanded most of my time. And honestly, YouTube had to take a backseat for a while. But I'm back now, and this time with the better content, better upload schedule, and I finally figured out how to manage my projects alongside this YouTube channel without dropping either. So if you've been here since before, thank you for sticking around. And if you're new to the channel, welcome. You've chosen the right time to show up. If this was useful, subscribe to the channel. More AI and Framer workflow videos next week. Drop a comment if you want me to cover a specific tool or section in more depth. I'll see you in next one.